Happy Monday to you. My name is Tabitha Christopher, tabithachristopher.com, and welcome to the MINDstyle Makeover Monday. I started the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp um, some time ago in creating it. But what it is, it's a character and resilience building training program for students in college, high school, and middle school to provide them with a roadmap to succeed academically, athletically, socially, and emotionally. Tonight and for the next 2 nights leading up to speaking at EntreCon 2024, I will be sharing, answering different questions around the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp. When did I decide to create the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp is the question for tonight that I am going to be sharing with you. And so when I decided to create the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp, I will let you know that decision was made at the age of 8 years old. So quite some time ago. I didn't know what it was going to be called. All I knew was that I wanted to develop trainings that would build up my peers to be really strong, truly strong. And by 8 years old, I had already experienced so much in my personal life. And because I had access to core principle concepts of life, it was helping me to navigate through some very difficult challenges that most kids would have crumbled under. But again, because I had access to these core principle concepts of life, it was able to help me to navigate through those challenges and not give up, even when I came close to the breaking point multiple times over. One thing that I did notice by the age of 8 years old was that training the body in and of itself doesn't make a person strong. If that individual has any kind of debilitating belief within themselves mentally, their body it can only operate at a very small percentage of effectiveness when needed. And I learned that from application. I for up until that age in my life, I was being built up spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Although my body at the time was not skilled in specific techniques of self-defense, because I had that knowledge and understanding, that then as I continued to study these core principles, it became wisdom that I was able to implement into my life. And what I noticed was that when I shifted from when I was guided to shift from focusing heavily on spiritual development, mental development, emotional stability, and go all in on the physical side, the strength of resilience that I had built up within began to weaken. So these tests were already being done on me from since very young, and I was fully engaged in this process. I was so fascinated by it. And it broke my heart to see my peers struggling through challenges that they were facing academically, personally, and not being able to to find the best solution to help them to overcome it, so that situation wouldn't overtake them. So at 8 years old, I had decided within my heart that I was going to develop training programs that would help youth to be really strong, really strong, like unbreakable. That had them to go through the toughest of situations. They could go through the toughest of situations and they would be able to come back even stronger from that situation. And so that was something that started long, long time ago. And so I had been very intentional about paying attention to what was going on around me, what was happening in the lives of my parents, my siblings, my peers, my teachers, the pastor, like any person that came into my vicinity. I spent more time in silence observing the behavior of others around me, and then reflecting on questions of why did they respond in that way, why didn't they do X, Y, and Z, and is the result of their response, is it uplifting, is it tearing down themselves and others? Like, how is it making everyone else feel? How is it impacting everyone else? And ironically, during that time of my life, I had developed a stutter. So I didn't talk much out in public. At home, sure, I talked as much as possible. I couldn't get me to shut up. But I struggled with a stutter even then. And so it provided me many years of just observation, observation of understanding the depths of an individual, and trying to pry into their story that was so carefully masked by achievements, or for my peers, some of them was bad behavior, disengagement. Yeah, so that's the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp began. I had made up in my heart that I was going to develop the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp at 8 years old. So this has been something that has been in the works for the majority of my life. Tomorrow, I'm going to then, and so, well, let me share this part. Where we are today, we are at a full-fledged, built-out curriculum that has 3 different iterations. There's a 6-hour iteration, there is a 9-hour, and then there is a 15-hour iteration of the boot camp. And the whole premise, foundation of this boot camp is to provide students with the blueprint of how to develop their legacy success story, and not just how to develop it, like the story that they want to live and be remembered for, not just how to craft it, but the very clear, specific steps of how to make it a reality. And so students are taken through this whole entire process where they get access to these same core principal concepts that helped me and hundreds of my clients be able to overcome very difficult and challenging situations and bounce back stronger from those situations, and not be taken out, not stay in the depths of despair, but how to be able to navigate our way out of that. So in the MINDstyle Makeover Bootcamp, students learn how to re-author the story that have kept them stuck. They learn how to own that story. And then they're provided with, again, the tools of how to build out the blueprint of their legacy success story. So today we are ready to launch the MINDstyle Makeover Bootcamp in person, in select classrooms within the United States. And we are currently developing the digital experience of the MINDstyle Makeover Bootcamp. So that way we're able to serve more students at scale. So very, very exciting times of where we are with the MINDstyle Makeover Bootcamp. Tomorrow, I'm going to be diving into the next question: which is, where is my notes on this? Who is the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp for and why? Who is the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp for and why? So make sure you tune in, and so we can dive into that together, because you very well may have a candidate. If you're a parent, if you're a teacher, if you're a coach, you may have candidates that would be a perfect fit for the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp. And those candidates will be able to single-handedly elevate the success of your school campus with the tools that are provided to them. So it's really exciting. Make sure you tune in. And if you're watching this and you're a student, and you would like for the MINDstyle Makeover Boot Camp to come to your campus, share this with a decision maker at your school, school administrator, coach, etc. All right. So look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. MINDstyle Makeover Monday is going to have a series 1, that's tonight, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning, right before we go on stage for EntreCon, where we're providing training for leaders to discover their greatest potential. Have a good night.